It's time to talk about priorities. Grab your paper and pen. Here we go.
All right, so let's get started.
Yes.
My name is Donella Fields. I am a registered nurse, a John Maxwell coach, a founder of Team International, which is an international coaching platform company, and also a co-owner of a home inspection company here in Fredericksburg called CJR Property Inspections. And this is my cohort,
Carolyn Williams, also a John Maxwell coach and speaker and a fitness instructor.
Oh.
It's a priority.
For some. For some. I don't know. Hi, Deanna. How's it going? Hey, Jesse.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about priorities. If you've got a pen, go ahead and grab one because we're going to give you five R's for priorities. Okay, the letter R. Each one of them is going to stand for something to do with priorities and how to get those involved in your life and in your business.
Right. And then I guess the first question is, what is a priority?
What do you think a priority is?
Something really important. Things that are important.
Super important. A problem is, you know what? Our days fill up with all of our priorities, and then we have to figure out of those priorities, which priorities are actually the priorities, and do we at the end of the day get our priorities done, or are we busy doing things that tended to not be so prioritized to start with?
Right, because things can come on our plate that look like they're urgent.
Urgent, that's
urgent,
exactly right.
But not really important.
That's right. Hey, Dina. Hey, Paula, Jacinta, Alicia, Deanna. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, so the 5 R's we're going to talk about today for your priorities. Grab that pen. The very first one is going to be R, required. What is required? So basically, what is required of me, of you, that you have to do that nobody else can do for you? And we were sitting here discussing this a little while ago, and that's really, really hard to come up with because oftentimes we think everything that we do, we have to do ourselves and we have to make it a priority and that we can't delegate or give that power to somebody else. But that's not entirely accurate, is it?
No, not at all. An example of delegation in the family would be, I know this is a hard one to do, delegating children to do cleaning. I know it's not as good as it would be us.
It's easier to do it yourself.
Is it though? If you think about it in 3 years and if they know how to do it. An example of something that you cannot delegate to somebody else is exercise.
True, that's true.
You have to do it. So if you say my health is a priority, or I want to get leaner or lose weight or actually gain muscle or something, you have to do it yourself.
That's
right. You cannot delegate that.
Your example was much better than mine. My example was going to the toilet. You can't delegate that. You have to do it yourself. It's a requirement and it's a priority. So that's one thing we touched on. Okay, the second R, so the first one's required. The second R is going to be return, okay? Return. Hey, John. Okay, so what gives you the greatest return? What is it that I'm doing that can be done by somebody else 80% as good as the way I could do it if I was doing it myself? What is it that I can hand over to somebody else because they're doing it 80% as good as I am? So if I can hand it over and delegate that to them, then I can work on my priorities and not all the other stuff that doesn't have to be done by me, right? So guys, feel free to comment down below if you have any examples, anything you want to say about this video, anything you want to add to it, please feel free to do so. So what do you think about the return?
I think the hardest thing about a return, depending on your personality type, is are you okay with the 80%? Like, are you okay accepting that somebody can only do 80% of what you can do?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, it does, because if you're like type A,
right?
If you're type A personality and you're a control, you want to be in control, which I guess I'm kind of like that. I like to be in control. It's hard to delegate that to somebody else.
But you'll be more productive and get priorities done if you delegate.
Yeah.
So you have to wrap your brain around that 80%.
Yep.
Which again goes back to, let's say, the kids. Wrap your brain around it. Better 80% better done than none.
That's right. Okay. Number 3 is reward. So we've done required, return, and reward. And what we're going to do with reward is it actually are we actually doing things that we love to do? Are we actually doing things that's part of our passion? Is our passion that just nothing can get in our way? We have to absolutely do it. Even the really hard, nitty gritty, miserable stuff, because we know it's getting us to our passion. Are we doing that?
So I'll go back to one of my other examples, exercise.
Yeah, that's just it.
That
Passion.
could be the nitty gritty. You don't feel like doing it, but the results pay.
But it's passionate. If you're
return.
passionate about exercise. So I feel that it would be easier for you to break a sweat and, climb all over the floor and do whatever it is you do when you exercise, as opposed to myself. Like, I just don't exercise because I can't bear the thought of that at all. I have any capacity. I don't like to sweat.
I hate to sweat, but I accept it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay, so it's not a priority. Obviously, it's not
It's a priority for you.
It's a priority for me.
So
I
take out my
like the
schedule.
results. I like the reward, which is what this R is.
Yeah.
The reward is worth it for me.
See, I
like
want the
rate.
reward. I don't want the work to get it because I don't
Yeah.
like fitness. It's not going to
It's
work.
not happening.
I could get an injection in my calf muscles, my bum.
You could. You're still not going to get the reward. You're not
Maybe
gonna
I should make that a priority.
There you go. Release those endorphins.
Yay!
Happy endorphins.
Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining. Okay,
Hi,
so
Donna.
we've done required, we've done return, we've done reward, so we've got 2 more to go. Okay, so what about reflection? If we have and you guys probably heard me say this loads and loads of times, but if you guys get your calendar out and you go once a week, once a month, or even like John Maxwell, once a year, that's a heavy feat. Go through your calendar and start crossing off the things that you have been spending time doing that are not producing your income, they're not growing your business in the way that you want it to grow. Then eliminate those and stop making them a priority. Because guess what? Somebody else's priority that's not yours somehow always ends up on your calendar, and you end up doing it for them because they're clever enough to delegate it to you. But are we clever enough to say, no, sorry, I haven't got time, or I'm working on something for myself? So you've got to be able to reflect and get that stuff off of there.
Absolutely. And then same thing personally. Where are you spending your time?
Mhm.
Reflect. I mean, I do it every year. Before I go into my new year, I take the time to reflect and see. This year, very much towards the end, I probably spent a good 30 days thinking about how I wanted this year to go. And so I came up with, which is our 5th R, well, it's not our, but in this context, ROI, return of investment. I have decided that everything this year, if I do not get a return of investment, it's not a
Out the
priority.
door.
And it doesn't just mean for my own personal gain. It's not about personal gain. It's where do I spend my time, energy, and resources? Volunteerism is also, you get a return of investment.
I was just going to say that just because it's called return of investment, it
Mhm.
does not mean it's 100% monetary. It can be
Absolutely.
philanthropic. It can be loads of different things. The idea is that on those 5 steps, being ROA your last step. Hey, Jackie, thanks for joining. You have to, the return on investment you're getting is from what's required of you, what's your reward is, what the return is, reflecting, and then making sure that that ROI is the return on investment that you want. So it's a investment on your time,
Your energy,
your
your resources, your finances.
absolutely,
So, and that could play out.
absolutely.
Let's say you're trying to get out of debt, whether it's business-wise
Yep.
or personally. There's some things you might have to pull back on because they're not a priority. You don't want to spend money there
That's right.
and put it down towards the debt. When it comes to relationships, you're going to spend time with the people that you can invest in, that give back.
Yep.
Because people, you can spend time with people who just drain you.
That's
Just
right.
take.
Right.
Or you've set up appointments, people don't show. After a while, it's like, well, I'm not going to make an appointment anymore with that person.
You can see my pajama bottoms. Sorry. I was so cold today. I put my pajama bottoms on. I just crossed my legs and I can see them. It's okay. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't think anybody saw a sign that said pajama bottoms.
That's all right. Well, pink and floral. Okay, so leaders never advance to a point where they are no longer needing to prioritize. So no matter what level of leadership you're in, if you feel that you're a leader or you are a leader, you're a proven leader, you didn't get there by not prioritizing, and you're not going to get there if you don't prioritize. So using those 5 steps that we've just given you is huge. They're a priority for your prioritizing to help you grow in your leadership, help you grow in your business, help you grow in your personal life. Like you made this video a priority. Well done.
We appreciate it. It rewards you.
We're so grateful. You have no idea how much impact you're making on our lives right now just by showing up to the video. So anyway, do you guys have any questions? Is there anything you want to say? Any pointers you want to share with people? I know, Dina, you've got something you want to say. I'm sure of it. I'm pulling you right out of the crowd. Great leaders hold their goal to make each player succeed in unity with the other team players to win. Right? That's right. Basically what priorities do. That's what they are, and that's how you use them.
In every area, because family is a team.
Yep.
Community is a team, whatever your community looks like.
Yeah. That's right. And isn't it funny that sometimes you have something that was not considered a priority that now becomes a priority?
Well, I think they can change.
Yeah, I agree.
They can change depending on the season in life and where you're headed, where your goals are. Which brings me back to something I was thinking about. When setting priorities, what is your big picture?
Why are you setting them?
Yeah, they have to fit a big picture.
They have to fit your why you do what it is you do.
Yes.
Why are you in your career? Why do you own that business? Why are you married? Why are you this? Why are you that? Hey, Rachel. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
If you don't know where you want to be, you don't know how to get there. If you don't know where you're heading, you're not going to know the directions. It's like getting in a car and saying you want to go to Timbuktu. Right. You don't have a map, you haven't researched it, you know nothing about it, and you just sort of expect the car to drive itself to where you need to go. It's the same way without setting your priorities.
And so many people live that way.
Yes. Yeah.
So many do. And then get to a destination and go, how did I get here?
Yes.
How did I end up in a relationship that isn't working? How did I end up in so much debt? How did I end up with my children and I'm not getting along? What's
causing these kids?
The priority wasn't at that point. But how did I end up getting here? So to avoid that question, setting priorities helps us get to where we want to go.
It does, absolutely.
And succeed in the areas we want to.
Yes. And if you're not succeeding in those areas, why are you not succeeding? Is it because you don't have your priorities straight? Are you not reflecting and looking at what's causing your investments to grow, both emotionally, physically, and monetarily? Yeah. But you need to, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
down to communication.
Yes, we were talking about communication and connection. Yes.
Down to communication. So if I sit here and talk to you, I'm getting.
Is that like your way of telling me to shut up?
No, I'm talking. Yes. Shut up. That's the polite way to do it.
People would like to hear from me, is what you're thinking. Stop talking.
Oh, wow. I got a return of investment there.
I'm going to edit this video.
And the reward was a moment of silence.
The reward is going to be me editing the video. Is what's going to happen. Hey, Pam.
Hi,
Good
Pam.
to see you. Okay, so to recap, let's go ahead and recap, and then we'll get off because we don't like to go too long. We've been on for like 14 minutes. Okay, so for your priorities, think about what is required of you that nobody else can do. And if it's nobody, like the world's going to fall apart if it isn't done by you. Those are your required actions. If other people can do them, delegate. Okay? Delegate. The second is return. What is it that you're doing that's giving you the greatest return? And if somebody else can do those things 80% as well as you can, let them do it. Let them do it. You've got to prioritize, okay? The third, we've got 5. The third is reward. Are you doing things you love? Do you know what your why is and why you're doing these things? Why you're making these things a priority? Because if you don't, you're not going to know. You're not going to recognize a reward, right?
Right.
You're not going to recognize a reward. It's like opening a present. Not opening a present. You give me a gift, and I never open it. I'll never get the reward from that gift and the blessing that you bestowed upon me because I've never bothered to look inside.
Right.
That's a good example of the reward. 4 is your reflection. Don't forget to always go back through your calendar, go back through your days, go back through what you previously have considered priorities and reflect. If they weren't a priority, if they could have been done by somebody else, if it did not bring you your
ROI, return of investment,
get rid of it.
Absolutely.
All right, you do ROI.
And reflection is also not just on the calendar. Reflect in your relationships, people you're in contact with.
Yeah.
Reflect. Have you made your child a priority? Have you made your spouse or significant other a priority? Your friends priorities? Have you?
Yes.
Did you spend the time with you? It takes time, and you have to be intentional about it. I said ROI, return of investment. So one of the things in that area, I was very deliberate in calling certain people and setting up dates so that we could connect and spend time. I wanted to invest in those relationships.
That's right.
And nothing came between them. Once it was on my calendar, that was an appointment. That was it.
Yeah. But you reflected to get those to be a priority that you wouldn't then cancel. Yeah. So which is what we're learning about today. Exactly what we're learning about today. Remember, as a leader in your business, be it direct sales business or brick and mortar business, something that you own, something that you work for, in order to be a leader in the position that you currently hold, your calendar is going to be full. The question is who's filling your calendar? Make sure it's you filling it and not everybody else filling it for you, because then your dreams and your passions and your why, it's going to take you a lot longer to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you burn out because you know why? You haven't made yourself a priority. And you are a priority too. Balance.
Definitely. It's great giving back and being philanthropic, but you also have to give back to yourself a little bit. So try to delegate some of the chores that you have. Try to understand that not everything has to be done right now by you all the time. You're just going to stress yourself out and you're going to lose sight of the really big things. Yeah. So work on those priorities. I think we're done.
We are. So make it a priority.
That was kind of good. I don't know. If it was really good, can you make it a priority next Thursday at 1 p.m. next Thursday? Because we'll be doing something else. We don't know what the topic is. So if you have a suggestion, throw it down below in the comment section. And we will take it under advisement. And we'll make it a priority. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We thank and love all of you for joining.
Thank you.
And we will see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Go to donellafields.com for business tools, tips, tricks, and your weekly email.